Getting the good news on your screen.
Hello friends, and welcome to another interesting episode of The Christian Lady in the Mirror, brought to you by Ignite TV. If you have not already done so, we'll please like you to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and always press the notification button. It always tells you when a new video is about to be dropped. Wow, it's another interesting Thursday, and we bring to you, like we always do, another interesting topic. And this time, like I always say, if you have any topic that you would like us to bring together, or maybe you feel we did not treat it like it ought to be treated, just drop a message or drop a note for us in the comment section, and we'll make sure we'll get back to you. Please, well, today's topic is quite interesting, and it's actually something very common among the youth. I think I've actually talked about it a little bit, but I've not talked about it extensively like I'm going to do today. What are we talking about? 7 reasons why being desperate to find love will not work. I will be talking, well, I'm always talking to the ladies, but I'm going to be talking especially to the ladies, because when we're desperate, the society has put so much pressure on us. The society has made us to feel that being single is a sin, or being single is something. So I'm going to be talking about the 7 reasons. Not really 7, it might be more than 7 reasons, but the ones that actually highlighted why being desperate to find love will not work. You understand? 7 reasons why being desperate to find love will not work. And if you have any other reasons, maybe you feel that you could contribute to it to us, just drop a note for us, like I will always say, in the comment section, and we'll get back to you. Well, let's start. 7 reasons why being desperate to find love is not going to work. Well, this did not even happen to me or to anybody, but I was watching in a film, and that was what brought about this topic. And I saw the mom was putting pressure on her, serious pressure on her. Everybody where she goes was putting pressure on her to get married. And she was just being desperate. She was being desperate, and she started looking for love in the wrong places, meeting the wrong guys, and everything like that. Well, one of the first reasons, let's define desperation. What is desperation? To me, desperation is like being obsessed. You're desperate to get something. You're being obsessed. For me, it's another form. For me personally, desperation is another form of being, how should I call it? Obsession. Because you're obsessed to get that thing done, or you're obsessed to do that thing, or you're so desperate. You can do anything to get that thing done. You can do anything to have that thing. You can even kill someone. So that is why I said, to me, desperation is like a form of obsession. That is for me. And when we say we are desperate, you're desperate to get married. You don't care. You don't care who comes up. You don't care if the person is a wife beater. You don't care if the person is someone that you feel you can talk to. You don't care if the person is a molester. You don't care if the person is a rapist. You just want to get married. You just want people to know that you're bearing misses. And this is always happening, most especially among our single ladies. You just want to bear that misses. You just want to feel among. You just want to be with, how should I say? You just want to feel among. You just want to be with. You just want to be what the society says it's okay. What do you say so? One of the reasons, let's start highlighting one of the reasons. The first reason is obvious. I'm sorry to say it, but when you are desperate, it's written all over you. There's nothing more obvious than someone that is desperate to have a husband. Everybody around knows you. Number 1 point is being obvious. Everybody around knows you that you are desperate. Everybody around knows you that, you want this thing so bad, you can do anything for it. Everybody around you knows that, okay, without this thing, it's without this thing that you'll do anything to have this thing. And what does that? It's sending the wrong signal. Take it or leave it. nobody wants to be with a desperate person. Nobody wants to be with a desperate girl, because the other party will be like, why is she so desperate to get married? Why is she so desperate to be this? Why is she? And it sends the wrong signal. Take it. It sends the wrong signal. Now, rather than attracting what you understand, what you really want, you are indirectly chasing them away. Everybody wants you to be interested. I mean, everybody. If you're gonna be my friend, I would want you to be interested in me as an individual, not interested in me to satisfy your own selfish urge, or to, like, you understand what I'm saying? And that same vibe is what you put across. That vibe, you put that vibe across, and it comes across in a negative way. People just tend to go back. It's so obvious. The desperation, the everything, it's so obvious. Number 2 is you attract the wrong guy. Being too keen to find the right guy, you attract the wrong guy, because you've already had in your mind that this is what you want to do. This is what you want to, like, whatever. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to find love. So the ones that are really coming to you, that's gonna make you feel good, you overlook them and you go after the wrong one, because you understand, you've already had this thing in your mind that this is what you want, and you attract the wrong person. Now, when the wrong person comes, you start making excuses for that wrong person, because you are desperate. You felt being single is a sin. You felt being single is nothing to write home about. You felt being single is going to, you understand, you felt being single is like you are doomed. So you attract the wrong person. And even though your mind, your brain, everything in you is telling you that that person is the wrong person, you won't want to listen, because you're desperate to you're desperate to find love. You won't even want to listen. Maybe you guys had a little argument, it slapped you. Someone that slapped you when you guys are still cutting, have a little argument, and now went ahead and slapped you. Do you think that someone will not beat you up when you guys are married? But because you are desperate, because you already had the set thing in your mind, because you already know whatever, you've already had this stupid set thing in your mind, you go ahead, you get married. We now, I never knew when you were there, you now start telling us, this is what happened, and this is whatever, and they will not be asking you, didn't you people cut? Of course you cutted, but when he was slapping you, but because you wanted to be Mrs., you overlooked it. You did like Jesus. He slapped one, he put the other one like that. It is real. Someone that maybe like has been lying, straight lies, oh, not all those small lies, as in those big lies. When you guys were cutting, you think if you marry, it's gonna change. Why do you think you have courtship? You have courtship that you can study each other. Is this the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? But we tend to ignore those things. We tend to ignore those little things like that. We tend to ignore it. I had a friend that called me up one time, and I think she's not married right now. And then she's my mate, and you know what that means. And she called me and she said, there's this guy that I really liked in my office, but you know, he keeps flirting with all the girls in the other office. Do you think I should go ahead? And I told her one thing. I said, look, I don't know the relationship, but do you think you can stay with that kind of a thing? Do you think you really can? I mean, you can stand that kind of a thing, because it is not now, it is in the future. Because people will ask you when you cannot stand it again, that didn't you see it? You saw it in him now. You saw him that he was flirting with other girls. So why did you go ahead with the marriage? Why did you go ahead with the marriage? And that is what most people do. We tend to overlook those things, like I can manage it, I can deal with it. So the first one we've mentioned, obvious. It's obvious. It's written all over you that you're desperate. The second one, you attract the wrong type and you keep quiet because you're desperate. The third one, sometimes love comes when we are not even looking for it. And that is the mistake we ladies make. We always look for it in big places. We always look for it in where I don't know how to put it. We always look for it in where we're not supposed to look for. Oh, we always well, I won't lie to you. Every girl runs the happily ever after, whereby Prince Charming comes and Prince, but it doesn't work like that in real life. I kid you not. It doesn't work like that in real life. I mean, I've heard stories, you'll be very, very surprised, where people have met people. But because you're desperate, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, you just look for it where you're not supposed to look for. Because you're desperate. You look for it where you're not supposed to look for. And sometimes it might even be in front of your nose. But because you're desperate, you've closed your eyes to that place and you're like, no, me care, whatever. But like I will always say, a broken relationship is always better than a broken marriage. A broken relationship is always better than a broken marriage. Sometimes the love you are looking for in Kaduna, in London, in just could be right in front of you. The love you're looking for could be right in front of you. What did I say? It's number 3. Sometimes just take a deep breath. Don't go looking for anything that is not looking for you. Don't go looking. That's number 3, for anything that is not looking for you. Don't go searching for things that is not even searching for you. I mean, people will give so many advices. I've heard so many people tell you that. That my friend, I heard so many people say, oh, go to the library, go to the club, go to the this, you'll meet people, try to look for people that you have the same interest, you have the same like mind, you have the whatever. She's in a relationship right now, and guess what? This person is not even someone that they share the same interest or they share the same anything. They don't share the same interest, they don't share the same anything, no. This one is just... And the funny thing about it is this is the guy she has known all her life. This is the guy I even know. And I was like, really? Wow. Were you interested in her now, or you've always been interested? And this guy said, I've always been interested in her, but she wasn't even looking at me. And this is someone that was even close to us. This is someone we know. She has gone to this social, all looking for love. And this guy said something. I mean, and that was partly what brought about this topic. This guy said, well, I really liked you, but you were kind of desperate. I really had to move back. So, don't go looking for what is not looking for you. That is the third one. Number 1, when you are too obvious, it sends the wrong signals. Number 2, you attract the wrong type when you are too obvious too. Because anything will go for you. You settle for anything. You settle for anything. You just want to be Mrs. You just want... It goes not only even in relationships, in so many things. You settle for everything. Number 3, you keep looking for what is not looking for you. Now the number 4 is you repeat the same mistake because you're desperate. Take it or leave it. When you have a broken relationship, that, or maybe you're normal in a relationship, at that particular time I expect you to be like, okay, you go back, you relax, and you look at what you did that made the relationship to fail. Was it your fault? Was it that person's fault? And you allow yourself to heal. But when you're desperate, the next relationship that comes like that, you jump into it. So how do you want to heal? How do you know whether it's you have the problem of something? Take it or leave it. I'm telling you, or take it or leave it. You repeat the same mistake. And it will put the other person off. Because you're seen like being desperate. And you know, funny thing, I heard something funny. And it got me really thinking. What did I hear? That my friend that I said was actually in a relationship or was looking for a relationship said something, that a guy said something to her that, I like you, you're a very nice person, but you agree too much with me on everything. You don't even argue with me. You don't even do anything with me. You don't even state your opinions. If I tell you to back, you back. If I tell you to stand up, you stand up. And my friend said, is that a bad thing? You understand what I'm saying? And the guy said, yes, it is, because it's like you don't have your own opinions. I need someone that I can share opinions with. It's like and the guy said, it's like you just want to be married at all because you don't have an opinion. And the guy said, I am scared because and my friend said, why are you so scared? I'm scared because that means that when you have whatever you have, you might change. My friend was shocked that guy said that. And she told me that, can you imagine? I was just being obedient. I said, but you are not being yourself. Now, 3 people or 4 people have said this thing. You kept repeating the same mistake every time because you never sat down to look at what you did wrong. You just keep jumping. And when you do like that, you make the greatest mistake. Love is not something, relationships or anything is not something that you jump into and then you expect it right now. You understand? The other person has to look at what that guy said. Look at what that guy said. The other guy said, you were too complicit. You were too submissive. I needed someone that I could argue with. And I was like, and I told my friend, and my friend said that if you don't get what you want at the end of the day, won't you change? And she was like, why did I said, yes, because you did not sit down to, what should I say? She did not sit down to look at the mistakes she keeps making. And she did not sit down to correct those mistakes. She kept making the same mistakes. Another thing is insecurity. Desperate people are always, always, always very insecure. We've mentioned 4 points. We've mentioned obvious. We've mentioned the wrong type. We've mentioned looking for things where they're not looking for you. We've mentioned repeating mistakes. Another one is insecure. Desperate people are always insecure. They don't want to be left alone. They see another guy, even though you understand they don't want to be left alone. They feel being single is you are doomed to your death. Being single is like a death sentence. They're not, when you are not capable of being happy on your own, how do you want to be happy in the relationship you are? Naturally, you're not capable of being happy on your own. You're not capable of making yourself happy. Please tell me, you can only give what you have. If you don't have something, you can't give it. You can't give yourself happiness. So how do you want to give other people happiness? How do you want to, how should I say that? What's the English that I should say? How can you make the other person you want to date, how can you make them being happy? Insecurity is always, you're so insecure, you're afraid of being single, you're so eager to find a partner for yourself, you're so eager to do this thing. That was what my friend was doing. She was so insecure. She was afraid that she was going to spend the rest of her life being single. We talked to her. After some time, we stopped talking to her. Because there was nothing we could not say. We didn't want her to feel bad, but we were seeing the same mistake until that guy pointed it out. She was so insecure in her own skin. She could not stand, maybe the guys that she was dating then, she could not stand them greeting even their colleagues because she was just too desperate. And it actually because one of the things it put the guy off. The guy said, I'm talking to somebody, the next thing is you start feeling I'm dating them or I'm doing this with them. It's not like I am not dating them. You need to feel secure. You need to know that I like you as a person. But my friend was like, no, if you really like me, within 3 months, we should have gotten married. And the guy said, I need to know you as a person. So, when she was desperate, she was driving the people around that, not only the guys, she was driving we that are her friends. She was driving us away. Those guys, she was driving them away too. she was driving them away too. It does that because when you're nobody wants to be with an insecure partner. Nobody wants to be with a partner that you don't even trust. One of the bases of a relationship is trust, and nobody wants to be with a partner that you guys don't trust each other. You don't trust yourselves. Nobody wants to be with that kind of a person. So insecurity is one of the things that makes you won't find love when you're insecure. Even though you're nice, even though you're gentle, even though you're submissive, even though you're everything God said they should look for in a wife. But if you're insecure, and this it's not about the ladies, but I'm talking, it affects both sexes, both the ladies and the guys. If you are insecure, it drives people away from you. You're insecure, it drives people away from, take it or leave it, negative impression. Oh no, that is when you are too like enthusiasm. When your enthusiasm is just too much. When you're too like it gives the negative impression. Like that guy told my friend, said, "You're too submissive, you agree with everything." And I was like, I don't want to be with this kind of a person. I don't want a yes person. I want someone that has the mind of our own. I want someone that we could rub minds together. The same thing when you're too enthusiastic. When you're too enthusiastic, you're like, everything. You want to make this relationship work. Send the wrong way. Let's face it, ladies. When someone is always like, the person is always rounding you, always on your neck, always on your whatever, always on your whatever. Won't you be like, it sends a kind of antenna in you that, what is this person up to? Why is this person like this? Why is he going up? You kind of like cringe, like, you understand? And it doesn't even have to be a relationship. It has to be everything. You're not taking it slow. Before Jack, you are there. Before this, you are there. Before whatever, you are there. Before whatever. Don't you? On my WhatsApp status, I was just thinking, during a later time, I was seeing so many things and I was just laughing. Why was I laughing? Because someone said, like, okay, this layer that is coming, all those girls now, they will go to their boyfriends or their boyfriend's house or wherever they are dating. They'll be washing plates. At the end of the day, the person that they will marry will not even come and wash plates. Yes, they've not paid your bride price. You went there, you were washing plates, you were doing Yahoo. Everybody too was calling you Yahoo. And at the end of the day, the person that they will marry did not even step into that house to do Yahoo. Have you ever thought of it? Being over enthusiastic, being over attention, whatever. Have you never thought of that thing? That you are there, you are washing plates, you are cleaning house, you are kneeling down. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying you shouldn't respect, but being over enthusiastic, being over, how should I say it? Being whatever, being over enthusiastic, being over just to say that you're a good person, it puts people off. Between you and I, if someone comes to my house today and is like, he's going up and down, he's sitting up, he's dancing up, he's doing this, I'll be like, what the heck is wrong with this person? My antenna will be raised up. So also, it is too in a relationship. The antenna too will be raised up now. So just be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Never be in, the last but not the least, never be in a hurry. We've mentioned it is obvious, being too obvious. We've mentioned being too obvious. We've mentioned the wrong type. We've mentioned stop looking for what is not looking for you. We've mentioned repeating of mistakes. We've mentioned insecurity. The one I just finished talking is negative impression. You create a negative impression when you're just being too enthusiastic. Another one is being in a hurry. Always, every little thing, every little conversation, you lead the conversation, you turn around the conversation. So when are you coming to meet my parents? Every little conversation. 2 weeks into the marriage, you are telling the person that, can we define what we have? Just 2 weeks into the marriage, what are you defining? Someone that you just met 2 weeks ago, you're already asking the person, so what do we have? Can we define it? Excuse me? If it is me, I will run to now. I'll run to. All these things I've mentioned, I mean, take it or leave it. It makes love run away from you. I met you 2 weeks ago. You're already asking me, so what do we call it? What do we call what we have? How do we define it? Is 2 weeks enough to know about me? Is 2 weeks enough to, I mean, to know everything? Even sometimes you don't even know some people. I've watched some crime shows that the wife of 15 years, 17 years, does not even know the husband. And when they ask the wife, they'll be like, I don't even know, and I don't even think he's capable of doing that kind of a thing. And you already into 2 weeks, already rushing, already asking the guy that is, can we define our relationship? What is our relationship? Not only relationships, situationship safe. Not only relationship, already just ordinary 2 weeks. You started asking the person, so when are we coming to? I mean, you're always in a hurry. All these little things like this puts off people off. I know it's not easy being single. I know you tend to get lonely. I know you tend to get whatever, but like I will tell you, and I keep saying it, ladies, a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage, because then the world will now be on you. 2 weeks into the marriage, or maybe like a week into the marriage, he's already started beating you, and then they will ask you, didn't he show this side of you? But because you were desperate, he must have shown some anger. He must have had some anger issues. He must have shown a little bit of something, but you just decided to close your eyes to it. What is the essence of today's topic? Today's topic is I'm just going to talk about desperation. We do not need to be desperate. We do not need to be desperate. God's timing is the best. I know we've been hearing that phrase, but believe you me, it's the best. You don't want to get married or be a friend with a rapist, a molester, or someone that is violent. We don't want to get married and after maybe like 6 months, you're already doing your obituary or something. No, you want to get married to your best friend, right? You want to be someone that you can talk, share ideas, share things with. You want that kind of a person. So why the desperation? And I think actually most of this thing stems from the fact that the society has made us believe that being single is a sin. Being single, you are doomed. Being single, you've received your death sentence. But that same society, if you make a mistake, will be the one to laugh at you. Will be the one to jest you. In other words, what is the last line? The last line is be yourself. Number 1, put everything to God in prayer. Number 2, and let God take control. You do not need to be desperate. The last word I'm going to be leaving for you tonight is, and I've always been saying it on this program, a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. Please, ladies, we can do better. We don't have to be desperate. We could do better. We don't have to be desperate. Well, thank you for staying with me till this time. Thank you for staying with me till this time. Thank you for everything. And till we meet next week. But before you go, we would like you to please like, share, and subscribe. And always press the notification button. It tells you when a new video is about to be dropped. I still remain yours, Abimbola Oluwaleye. Thank you and God bless. Till we meet next week. Bye.